Greetings, folks. Today is still Thursday, January 31st, 2019. My name is Tom Lineweaver, and I rarely do a commentary this soon after I've done another one. But I can't help myself. I tell you, I need a radio show. I can't believe I'm hearing people complain about the cold. I know we haven't had a whole lot of cold weather like this in a long time, but here's the problem. When I was a kid, people were not complaining about the cold. They dealt with it. I can understand if somebody is homeless in Chicago. I think they have a right to complain. And one thing they complain about is the goddamn churches in Chicago that are allowing that person to be homeless. And by the way, I use the word goddamn when it's appropriate. You see, these goddamn churches are not following Christ. If they were following Christ, if the churches of Chicago would be following Christ, there would not be one homeless person in that city. Not one. I mean, you got to do more than just take blankets out to people, folks. It's incredible. This is a sad time in American history. We have a government that doesn't give a damn about the Constitution, and we have the churches that don't give a damn about the teachings of Christ. And it makes me mad. I tell you what, it would be justified if God would send fire and brimstone to Washington, D.C. and destroy every church in this goddamn country of ours. I'm sorry, I'm mad as hell again. Churches, do what you're supposed to. Take those homeless people in. I mean, how many church buildings do you have in Chicago? Huh? How many church buildings? You mean to tell me you can't find a place in those church buildings to put beds for homeless people? You sick bastards. And that's not just for Chicago. That goes for every city in America. How many churches are in Philadelphia, for example? Why are there any homeless people on the streets of Philadelphia? And we can go to New York City, we can go to any... Why? With all the churches in this country, do we have one homeless person? Just one. Why? May God judge the goddamn churches in this country. Do what you're supposed to, you bunch of bastards. Bastard. The word means illegitimate son, I think. But anyway, you are not churches of Jesus Christ. You are bastardized. Churches in America, if you don't soon repent, I hope God destroys every one of you. Maybe some Sunday morning when the churches are full, maybe God will send fire and brimstone down to you. You ungodly bunch of bastards. There should, I kid you not, there should not be one homeless, with all the churches in America, there should not be one homeless person in this country. You churches, When I say goddamn churches, I mean every word of that. Do you need a Bible? Should I point to you what Jesus said about loving your neighbor as yourself? About loving your enemy? About loving God with everything? I mean, if you're going to be loving God, aren't you going to be obedient to Him? And go back in the Old Testament, in the book of Proverbs, how many times does it say anything about helping the poor? And what did Jesus say in Matthew chapter 25? When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was homeless, you sheltered me. Or something to those effects. And the righteous asked, well, when did we see you like that? And he said, whatever you do to the least of these my brethren, you do also unto me. And the reverse is true. Whatever you don't do to the least of these my brethren, you don't do it to me. And you people are going to hell. If you don't believe me, read Matthew 25 and go to the last two verses. You churches who are not helping those homeless people, you are going to hell. If I was a billionaire, I'd do what I could. I'm not a billionaire. I'm on a low fixed income, but I sure wish I could do something to help those homeless people in Chicago. That's right. I saw something about a homeless man in Chicago. I don't remember. I didn't spend too much time on that article because I got too angry about it. Churches of America, you need to repent of your wicked ways. My God, how listen, these are human beings. They're human beings. Why are you letting them out in the cold? Literally. I don't know the last time I was this angry. I am more angry about this than I was about the elementary school curriculum. This is craziness. This is craziness. May God judge the churches of America for their wickedness and their sinfulness and their evil. Yes, letting homeless people out in the cold in Chicago is evil. And because of you goddamn churches, some of those people might die. And God will charge you with murder. Okay, folks, nobody cares about poor people in this country. Especially since Donald Trump has become our president. We just don't care. Oh, I have seen people getting food together to go out and feed the homeless. Hey, they need a roof over their head, you dumb, stupid people. They don't need food. They need a house. Well, they need food too. But what you do is you take them indoors and then feed them. Don't take a lunch wagon out to the homeless and give them something to eat from the lunch wagon. Oop, excuse me, folks. Well, I guess, I'm sorry for blowing up like this, but you know what? I think Jesus would. You see, when you refuse to give something to a poor person, according to Proverbs, I have to look it up to find out exactly where it is, but you refusing the poor is stealing from God. And I hope and pray that Jesus will come back and throw you people. I mean, you remember the money changers in the temple? Well, you people are basically doing the same thing. You're a bunch of thieves. You're stealing from God. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to come to an end here. I'm sorry, folks. I just had to do this. I just had to. I see people living on the streets in Chicago in this cold weather. It makes me mad as hell. And these churches deserve what I just did. In fact, they deserve more. If you don't want to help the poor, you should go out of business. I'm sorry, folks. Thanks for listening.